Beef cattle production is the second largest agricultural industry here in Virginia. The grain-finished beef go through three main stages.
Virginia starts primarily at the basic level, the cow-calf level, where farmers, many diversified farms, own cows, and they're in the business to make baby calves. Those calves are weaned at typically 8 to 12 months of age, and at that time they're taken away from mom, they're on their own. When they're in that post-weaning phase, but before they go to a feedlot, that segment of the business is called stockering or backgrounding. But eventually, by the time most cattle are between anywhere from 12 to 20 months of age, they go to that final feedlot finishing phase.
After that first stage, many cattlemen sell their calves, where the calves continue on to the next two stages in the Midwest. But some farmers, like the Arbogasts in Lacey Springs, keep their cattle for as long as they can.
We're taking our calves that we raised here on the farm that we own, and we're weaning them 450, 500 pounds off their mother, and we bring them to this barn. And then they're fed a ration of feed up until they're 850, 900 pounds, and that might take 3-4 months to accomplish that. And then they're sold. They go north or to the west to the finish yards. We've got enough feed on hand to take them from weaning to market weight, 850, 900 pounds, and then we're basically out of feed until we start harvesting again.
Not having enough feed is something that is common here in Virginia. In fact, it's known as a grain deficit area.
We've got a lot of land in Virginia that lends itself well to hay and pasture ground, but not a lot of land that lends itself well to row crops. And most of those row crops, most of that grain is going toward feed for the poultry industry and for other animal industry here in the valley.
And that's why they're finished out in the Midwest.
Economically, it makes more sense to send the cattle to the feed in the Midwest where the corn is grown.
Once the cattle are finished and processed, sometimes that final product ends up right back in Virginia.
It's always a high degree of possibility that you can have a calf from the southeast or from Virginia at the grocery store in any town in Virginia. Some of the larger grocery chains particularly, they have contracts with some of the packers in the country that buy and feed Virginia cattle, and oftentimes those cattle, once they're harvested and processed, they do wind up back in Virginia grocery stores.
So next time you go pick up a steak for dinner, you might be eating local without even knowing it. In Rockingham County, I'm Wes Jones.